Shall we start our session?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
let's go. Let's go.
Yes,
Let's go.
yes, please.
Okay. I hope you remember the footprinting techniques we tried yesterday, like Google Docs. First of the, let's start with the Google Docs again. So, what is Google Doc? Vinod sir, will you explain what is
Yeah,
Google Doc?
yeah. However, we are going to set something in an internet. So it is something a plain text. If you want to go deep searching, so we will use this Google Docs, which is some kind of an advanced filtering. Either there are so many filters available using like in title. Something in title is we are going to see all the page titles. We are going to search with the title name, or else we can use that in text. What is the text available in a particular page, right? Yeah, you will get all the laptop titles like that. These are the titles. Whatever you are seeing in the
No,
blue box, right? Those are the titles
sorry,
available over there.
sorry, Vinod, to come again. I didn't get that seriously. What is Google Talk?
Google
Yeah,
Doc
this
are
is an
just
advanced search
filters.
in Google. Yeah, this is an advanced searching. Yeah, filter, advanced filterings in the Google available.
Google are just the
Uh,
filters which you can use to filter your
See,
search
for
results.
footprinting is something. Yes, yes, yes.
If I
Footprinting is
simply type,
something we are going to get some kind of a data from the. Yeah, go ahead, Siddharth.
if you want to apply some kind of filters on your Google search results, what you can do is you can apply some kind of Google Docs here. We call them Google Doc, DORKS, right? If you think they are complicated, you can do one more thing here. Simply click on the advanced search bar and you can apply some kind of filters here.
mhm,
If you don't like this page, you can apply it manually. Just go on the Google
mhm,
and apply filters here. Like if you want to search something inside the page title, you want
mhm,
to restrict your search to some kind of a specific domain. Like if I want to restrict my search to hangama.com, like pro.in.
mhm.
For that part, you can use this kind of filters like site to restrict your search result to a specific domain. I type site colon pro.in here. All the results I get are from the pro.in website. For all these results, 4670, the
Oh,
domain was
okay,
same pro.in. Don't have nothing else different than pro.in.
okay, okay.
You can apply multiple filters here,
Got it, got
right?
it.
Other than this, you want to apply filters. You are looking something for laptops. You are looking something for mm, cyber security.
Mhm,
You can apply some kind of filters like in title, right? What in title do? In title will look inside the page title of the page.
mhm, mhm,
For that part, you use this Google Doc in title.
mhm,
If I write in title and the cyber and press enter, all the pages are from crow.in because I have applied a filter
mhm,
restrict my search to crow.in. I have
mhm,
applied a filter which restricts my search for the pages which have cyber in their title. As you can see, cyber, cyber, cyber. All these pages have cyber in their title part. Yeah. If you want to search inside the page text value, like if I open a page and if you want to search inside the page and then search with the Google, for that part, what you can do is you can apply a filter. We call it in text, right? All these results, all these links I get, all the 30 results I get, have this pro.in as their domain, contain cyber in their title part, and have Mohit in their text values. If I open any link from the here, all these links are from pro.in because I have restricted my search results to this particular domain pro.in. All these domains have title for this cyber and all these pages have text that was Mohit. If I search here Mohit, I have something like here where it is. I have searched. You can see here two of three but I don't know where they are. I'm not able to find out. But page have the values like Mohit, here we have, right? The Google Docs are just filters you can apply on the search results. You can restrict your search results if you are looking for something, a file. Like if I'm looking for a PDF, you are looking for a Excel sheet, then you can apply some kind of filters like file type, and you can specify the file extension. PDF, if you're looking for a PDF, XLS, if you're looking for Excel file, PPT, if you're looking for PPT. Google have only specific extensions which you can search for. Just click on the search part, and here's some formats here. You can search for PDF, you can search for PS, and all these extensions. You can only search for these extensions with the file type extension. I hope it makes sense.
Yeah, it's making sense.
Yeah. Other than file type, we have one more similar to file type, that was ext for the extension part. You can use file type, you can use ext for the same purpose. When you're specifying when you are restricting your search to a specific file, the specific extension like PDF, for that part you can use ext or you can use file type. They both do the same thing. I have only one result here, which has cyber in the title, and it's from pro.in domain. It have Mohit in the text value, and the file type was PDF, as you can see here in the label, right? So you use Google Docs for a better result. Just to apply some kind of filters on the search result on the Google, we use Google Docs. Yeah. Other than this, you can use some tools. Suppose if you are enumerating a person, you want to perform some kind of footprinting on a person, you can use some tools like the first one we have is user recon. I hope you remember. Let me clone that tool. Let me check do I have this tool or not. I have this tool. So what you have to do to use this tool, simply open the browser and search for user recon on GitHub. The first link, and copy this code part. You can clone this tool just with the command like git clone. Let me open a directory first. Yeah, you can clone this tool with git clone command and the URL here. It will download the complete tool for you, and you get a folder here, user recon. Just get inside the folder, cd git and user recon. You have three files here, license, readme.md. Both these files are simple text files. This is my bash file, userrecon.sh. To execute this file, first let me check the permissions. Do I have the execution permission for that file or not? So I can see I have only read and write permissions for that file. Let me modify the file permissions. I'm giving the execution permission to this file, userrecon.sh. Now if I do ls-l and userrecon.sh, I can see the execution part. R for read, W for write, and X for execution. Now, to execute this bash file, I'm using simple dot and slash. Dot to execute a bash file, slash to specify the directory for that file. I'm in the same directory, so I can specify the directory name, and you can execute this userrecon.sh. So, what userrecon do? Userrecon simply take an input from you and search on multiple websites like Instagram, Facebook for that username. So if I simply write Siddharth here, what it will do, it will search for these multiple platforms, multiple social media platforms with a single username, Siddharth. You can search for any name here. But the point with user icon is this will only look for exact username. If you know the exact username for the user, only then this will give you the correct result. Nope, this is not my profile. Okay, let's look again. This is not my profile again. right? So you can use this tool this way, user account. Other than user account, what you can use is
No,
the
no,
harvester.
no. User recon is something you're finding user information. No?
I was trying to brute force the users on multiple platforms. And the user with this name Siddharth exists on the Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Blogger, Google Plus, multiple platforms or not.
Okay.
This user is existing on these platforms or not. Simple. And you can see for all these platforms, I would have found the user is existing. You can see the found command. You can see a simple found print here, simple found word. If the user is not existing, which is something like not found, means the user is not existing on this platform. Photo log and a user with this name Siddharth is existing on all these platforms.
So what if I'm specifically looking for a guy? For example, I'm looking for your profile. Then
Yeah,
how to
then you can use this tool. You have to specify the name, the actual username of the person.
with the email ID, I can spoof.
No, you can't use the email address with this user account tool, but you can identify the email address. Let me use this better one more tool, the harvester. So what you can do with the harvester is the harvester can be used to find number of employees or all the employees working inside an organization just by looking inside the LinkedIn part. So I hope you remember the LinkedIn.
Yes.
Yeah. You can search about any person on the LinkedIn. Find a person you know, just add the name here. I'm not gonna log in here right now. But the point is you can find people on the LinkedIn on the basis of their company name, where they were working, on the basis of their
Correct.
education.
Correct.
Right? The harvester is the tool which you can use to find the same information without logging inside this LinkedIn part. For
What?
that part, you just have, yeah, sorry,
See, previously used user account, right? What is the
yeah,
difference between this and that user account?
user can only search on these popular platforms like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. User account is restricted to 75 platforms only, right?
Okay.
But the harvester give you information from the LinkedIn. I show the manual page for the harvester.
How to enter to this mode actually? How to enter into this mode using Kali Linux?
Just open the terminal from the right to the left.
Okay.
So you can use the Windows button and write the terminal here.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Then,
Press enter. You will get this terminal.
okay.
You get something like this.
Okay.
And simply type the harvester -h for the help page. You can go for manual page if the tool have a manual page. Otherwise, you can go for the help page. You can search between all these sources. You can search for Baidu, which is a search engine. You can search for Bing. All these search engines can be used if you are looking for something like email addresses. They will crawl the page. They will find the email addresses from these pages. Right?
Before getting into this, Siddharth, can we do
All-
spoofing of our IP first thing? While searching them, they are not. I mean, they don't want to see my IP address, MAC address, those stuff. So, shall we spoof it first, and we can enable these options?
Right now,
No, no, not right now. I'm asking. That will be a best way to for attacking them.
you're just going to enumerate. You're not performing any kind of attack.
No, no, I'm not performing attack. I'm just finding even gathering the information also.
Yes.
It looks like anomaly, right? Guys gathering some other information through Kali Linux. So it might be a attack of detected by the server actually. Correct? The Google search engine can detect. So
Yeah.
sometimes
They
uh,
can detect.
yes. So I don't want them to detect me. So that's why I'm asking you. Shall we spoof it and we can initiate this traffic?
Right now, I don't know the actual steps to spoof my IP address for this tool.
No, 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 not right now. I'm saying that can be possible, right? That can be
That
the
can be
right.
possible. That can be possible.
Okay, okay,
If you are when you be perform some kind of network scanning part when we're looking for sensitive information about the machine.
Yes.
For that part, we will using a tool like Nmap.
Yeah, Nmap to scan the ports actually, right?
Yeah, you have to scan the ports. Nmap has an option like capital S, through which you can spoof your IP address.
Acha.
Uh,
Okay.
you can spoof the IP address with the capital -S option for the scanning part. If we're just using these tools to gather some kind of information about the employees.
Okay. Got it.
Don't worry, I'll till tomorrow I'll figure out the way so we can spoof our IP address for permanent part. Right.
Yeah. Please.
Just give me time. So coming back to the harvester part, you can use any of these source part. If you're looking for email addresses, you want to find email addresses from the page. Like I have some results because I'm not sure when the harvester work or when the harvester will not work. I have some results and I don't have these results right now. Okay. Let's try this. Let's try to use this tool to enumerate the people's working inside like Microsoft.com. Let's go for Microsoft.
Mhm.
The harvester. I'm using -d to specify the Microsoft.com. Like I'm looking for a domain which ends with the Microsoft.com. Email address is ending with the Microsoft.com, right?
Yes.
So I'm using Microsoft.com and a source from LinkedIn. But I want the information from LinkedIn part, not LinkedIn. LinkedIn. You can use the same tool harvester to find all the.
What is the result? Can you show me that result? Is that collecting information?
This will take some time, sir. This will take some time.
How come it is like Microsoft? You're finding those information. How come they're leaving this information out to public?
LinkedIn is public.
Chal. Okay.
LinkedIn is public.
Okay. It's like social media.
Profiles were public.
Got it.
We got 207 results. We have some names and their designation. Account manager, Abhinav Gupta. Yesterday we were using the same command.
Microsoft.com. Okay.
You know your domain, no?
Yeah, that was domain.
You know the domain.
You have to specify the domain. With the option in this tool, you have to use the domain.
Mm-hmm. -L for a help.
-H for help. -L is to limit your search to the 100 results, 200 results, 400 results. You can find out the people on LinkedIn with this tool as well. If you're looking for email addresses, what you can do is use the same tool, the harvester. Now the point is I'm changing the source only. Let's go for Microsoft again. Microsoft.com --source and let's go for Google. I'm changing my source from LinkedIn to Google. Google will crawl all the pages and the harvester will identify the email addresses from those pages. Let's wait for the result. So I got these email addresses with the help of this source, google.com. Don't limit your results to this specific search like google.com. You can go for multiple sources like let's go for something like Netcraft.
Why it is IP? Why it's throwing IP in Google.com?
Sorry, why it's
Why it is giving IP instead of see we were searching for what does it mean the browse?
IP address for the DNS server. Sorry, not DNS server, SNMP server.
Okay, just for domain is searching for domain alone.
Yeah.
Domain matches
We
with
have written Microsoft.com. If you write a command here like host, not here. Let me open one more tab. If you write host at the Microsoft.com, you can see the IP addresses, but not the MX records. I hope you're about the MX records, the mail exchanger
Yeah,
servers.
yeah. For
These are the IP address for the mail exchanger server, and we get the
What is
results.
that NSD codes?
Sorry,
What is that NSD codes?
where is MSD code?
MX record. MX record is for
MX records. Okay.
see for Vinod. MX record is for mail exchange, mail protocol. What we say for DNS you have a record, right? For registering your name to the domain, you need a record. The same way you need for email
Yes,
registration.
yes. For DNS, it is a record.
Yeah, DNS they call it as a record. For email domain registration, they call it as MS record.
So this is my Gmail,
Okay, okay.
and this is my Yahoo. Okay. The server used to manage mails for Gmail, and the server used to manage mails for Yahoo. Right. The servers used to manage mails for these services are known as mail exchanger servers, MX record. The servers used to transfer mails between each other, mail exchangers. They exchange mails between each other, and the protocol used for that part was SMTP. So you can use multiple sources. Like I got only 10 results for Google.com, and I got 20 results for Netcraft.com. So you can use multiple sources, and we have multiple sources as well. Let me roll it here. You have multiple sources. You can use Baidu, Bing, any of these sources for information part, right? If you are looking for peoples, you can go for LinkedIn. You can go with LinkedIn. If you are looking for email addresses, you can go with search engines like Baidu, Bing, Google, DuckDuckGo, and something like where it is Netcraft. Yeah, here it is Netcraft. Other than this, let's go for one more tool that was Sherlock. One is similar to this user icon. Let me get my tab here. For that part, you can download this tool from GitHub as well. Just click on the Google Sherlock. You can use this Google Doc site, github.com. Restrict your search to GitHub. Go with the first link and just clone this tool. With the command git clone and the tool name for the URL you have copied. I already have this tool.
Sorry, the what is the command you're for cloning actually? You're copying the URL and you're coming back to here.
Git clone. Git clone.
Okay, what it does actually, it will
This will download this repository, the Sherlock repository from this GitHub.
okay from GitHub. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
It's a common. It's only for Kali Linux, like where you can download if they have internet for Kali Linux OS, so you can download this from GitHub, correct? GitHub.
No, you can use a window. You can use Git and any operating system. Git comes
Okay.
for Windows, for Mac, for any Linux operating system. You can use the Git command.
Acha, okay, fine.
Yeah. You just have to write the URL here, and this will download the repository for you. I already have this repository with this name Sherlock. So just get inside the directory with the cd command Sherlock. I have multiple files here, and one of them was folder Sherlock dot only Sherlock. To execute this tool Sherlock, the command was Python 3 and Sherlock. Python 3 and Sherlock. When you press enter,
What is
yes,
it? What you are doing? I don't get that. Python in the sense what?
Python 3 is the simple Python version,
Okay.
and Sherlock all these scripts for this tool were written in Python.
Okay.
Okay. To execute a Python script, I'm using the command here, Python 3.
Tool, Python tool you installed in this.
Yeah, Python 3 is installed in this. If I use Python 2, this show me some error. Like this will require Python 3.6 plus. For that part, I'm using Python 3. I hope it's
Okay.
clear. Yeah.
So Sherlock, what it Sherlock is a tool for what?
Sherlock is a tool which is similar to this user account. You will search for the user on multiple platforms like Instagram, Facebook, but on multiple platforms more than this user
Ah,
account,
got it.
better than this user account. You just have to write the Python 3 Sherlock and a username here. Right? And you can search on multiple platforms with this tool. This is similar to user account. You will both these tools do the same thing. Looking for the username on multiple platforms. That's a simple thing. Now the point is you just have to enumerate the users with this the harvester tool. Enumerate the users from this harvester tool, and you can try these tools like Sherlock and user account to identify the social media platforms. Or you can simply search on Facebook, Instagram if you are using the Facebook, Instagram, right?
To install the latest version of Python, Siddharth, what is the
Sorry,
command? To install the latest command,
install the latest command.
Python.
Means you are asking to install the latest Python version. If I'm not wrong.
No. Actually, you installed. It is the inbuilt. You have Python 3, right?
No, I
So
have
it was
installed Python 3.
no. You didn't. I mean, you have installed or by default the Kali Linux has the Python language scripting.
Kali Linux already have Python, but
Correct.
if you
Correct.
want to upgrade
Hello.
you can use these commands like apt upgrade to upgrade all the packages or to update all the packages Kali Linux have. Hello.
Yeah, got it. Got it.
Yeah, you can use this command apt upgrade to upgrade the packages in your machine. I can
Specifically, if you
upgrade
want to do anything, can you scroll up? Scroll up. What is the command? apt update.
apt. We have repositories. Kali Linux maintain a list of tools, right, installed in your machine. When you write a command like apt update, okay, this command will check the list for your current version for this tool and the newer version for this tool.
Okay.
If the tool have a newer version available to download, then you can download the tool. You can download the new version for the tool. This
Hello.
command upgrade.
Okay.
But you can check for newer versions with this command update. Update will check for new versions, and upgrade will upgrade the tool to newer version.
Got it.
Right?
Got it.
Yeah.
Siddharth, I asked that. What is upgrade?
Upgrade will install the newer version for the tool.
Okay.
Suppose if you have a tool in this version 1.1.122, right? And on the server side for that tool, the newer version is something like 2.2.255. Okay. To install the new version for that tool, you just have to write apt upgrade command. Okay. This will automatically install all the versions for all the tools installed your machine.
Okay.
For all the tools installed on your machine, the latest version will be downloaded from the internet and installed on your machine. It will install the latest version for all the tools on your machine.
Okay.
Yeah.
To install Python 3, what
You
we
can
will do?
run the command apt install Python 3.
Oh, it's not working.
Just just go with the help page. Just go with the help page. You can use list to list, you can use search, you can use show, you can use install to install packages. You can use update to update list of available packages for upgrade for newer versions of the tool or the software you are using, right? You can use upgrade command to upgrade to the newer version. And if you are checking for the newer version, you can use update. Upgrade to newer version, you can use upgrade command. I hope it's clear. You can use the help page. Take reference from the help page. In Kali Linux, we have, I think, help page for every command. Or you can go with the man page for APT. I think we have man page for APT. It's a simple description about the tool, simple overview of the tool, right?
I said that whenever I am giving Python Sherlock a space, some kind of a keyword, it is throwing an error. No module named request features.
You can share your screen. Let's figure out what's the error.
Python is there. Actually, I am using the Python and it is telling it's already there. Python 3 is there. And I have installed Sherlock. And I'm using Sherlock, we know. It's telling no module form.
Okay. I'm using the same command here. As you
Yeah.
can see, you can do one more thing. Just let me share my screen.
Okay.
Yeah. You can write a command like pip install -r requirements.txt.
Okay.
If a folder has some, uh, yeah, we have a requirement.txt file here. Hello.
Yes,
What
yes, yes.
what is this file meaning about? Like you have already
But
downloaded the file?
when you clone the repository from the GitHub file, you get all these folders inside this Sherlock. Okay. Requirement.txt is a simple file which tells you that the Sherlock tool you are going to use depends on all these packages, right? To use this tool, you have to install these packages. To install these packages, you can use a command pip install -r requirements.txt. Requirement.txt is the file name, -r to fulfill the requirement. Pip is a module from the Python, and I'm installing the requirements.
So when I click this, when I put this command, so automatically these components will be installed by default. Huh?
When you execute this command, all these packages will be installed on your machine. If they have, they will not gonna install again. If they are not available in your machine, they will be downloaded from the internet and they will be installed on your machine.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can try this command and let's see it works or not. So I hope I get the result for the, yeah, I got the result for Sherlock. And you can see Sherlock is searchable on multiple platforms like 2Dimension, 7cups, 9GAG, About Me, Academia. We have multiple platforms, right?
These are source platform, correct? Source.
Sorry, these are,
These are source platform. Source.
yeah, these are source platforms. Simple.
Okay.
You can
Okay.
simply click on these links to open the profile. Right? So you can try this way to know it about a people or to find out their public profiles.
What else you have other than this? You have Harvester, you have a user account, then Sherlock. What else you have? What else we have?
For user enumeration part,
Yeah, user gathering the user information, user account information like email, their name.
the best thing is to go for the social media platform, or you can search on multiple job sites like LinkedIn, Naukri.com, Monster.com, or we have multiple platforms like Times Jobs. You can search on these platforms to innovate about the people, innovate about multiple people.
Okay. Okay.
There are simple techniques.
See, on a day one, you told me that social, right? For example, public information available for in Google. If you type somebody Siddharth, you type Siddharth and you showed me some public information. Correct.
If I write Google
Mhm.
and I search Siddharth here, I got the public profile,
Okay.
but that's not me.
Uh-huh. Then I know. Yeah.
This person is not working inside this Microsoft.com. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I have target Microsoft.com. I know all the employees working inside that organization with this harvester tool. I
Mm-hmm.
got some email addresses where I can send some kind of phishing emails,
Mm-hmm.
right? I can target these people's. I can go for their social media platforms. I can find out their contacts. Like I can find out their mobile numbers from the LinkedIn. I can find out their email addresses, their personal email addresses from LinkedIn part, and you can try some kind of social engineering attacks. I hope you're aware you are aware about phishing and wishing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Phishing. I know. What is phishing?
Phishing is something like you are targeting a person over a phone call.
Okay.
Like in phishing, you send some kind of phishing mail to a person, but in wishing, you call a person
Okay.
like, "Hey, buddy, I'm your friend. I'm here. Can you help me? I have some urgent work to do. Can you do that work?" And other different things.
Social engineering kind of thing. No.
Yeah, social engineering kind of thing,
Okay.
right? You can identify this kind of information about the target.
Got
You
it.
can
Got it.
try this tool, the harvester. You can try these tools like Sherlock. You can try this tool like User Recon. Just simple platforms, just simple tools which you can use for user enumeration part.
Siddharth, if you don't mind, can you just elaborate the attacks of types of attack and how these attacks are getting exploited in a user machine? This
Attacks
is kind
on
of what these called brute force attack, right?
These are not brute force attacks.
Sorry, this is not brute force attack.
This is not a brute force attack. This is different than brute force. When you write a tool, right?
Mhm.
If I give example of this user icon, if I
Mhm.
show you the, let me write, yeah, we have a .sh file. If I print the code for this user icon.sh, you
Mhm.
can see we have a pre-written script. It means the tool is limited here. The tool is not using any kind of dictionary, not trying to brute force and all the possible characters for that username. I give a username and the tool is using that user and the tool is using that input to find a user on these platforms which are written in this toolbar.
Got, got it. And what is about brute force then?
In brute forcing, you try all the possible combination of words, possible combination of characters to crack the passwords, to crack the email addresses, to crack some kind of dictionary attacks, to crack some kind to find out some kind of directories.
Okay.
In brute force, you are not aware about those. You're not sure about the target. You don't know about the names of the target.
No, see, basically, before getting into the brute force, we must to know what exactly the user ID is something. For example, brute force is something using multiple characters of password, character, special character. I mean, whatever we are using, type of. There are two types of brute force attack, right?
I'm not sure about the types of brute force attack. I know only the brute force attack. Sorry for that part. I don't know about the types of brute force attack.
Okay,
So, but
but
we
but
can
before
search.
getting,
We tried a tool yesterday that was Derb, and we
uh,
write, yeah, in the Derb we give a dictionary. If you remember from this directory user share word list Derb, that was I think big.txt. This is my dictionary big.txt, which contain all the which contains some words which I can use to brute force on this domain abc.com.
no, no, what is the use of their tool actually? This tool?
What is the use of this tool Derb?
Yes.
We use this tool to find out the available directories on the server.
Yes. Yes, I remember it.
Yeah, you can use this tool to find out available directories on the server. If you are
Correct.
looking for subdomains, for that part, we used one more tool yesterday. It was Sublister, right? Sublister
Yes.
will give you the subdomains about that domain for that domain.
Got it.
If I use Microsoft here,
Sublist 3 or
Sublister,
so to know the subdomains in that particular domain, huh?
yeah, to find out the subdomains, you can use this tool, Sublister. It will take some time, I think. I hope it's clear. The harvester part,
Yeah.
user account, Sherlock, and these tools, right? Other than these tools, you can use one more website like if you are enumerating about domain, you can use a website DNS Dumpster, and you can use websites like DNS Twister as well. This is the website DNS Twister. When I write here something like pro.in, this will show me all the domains which are something similar to this crow.in. Like I have GRAW, something similar to CRAW. I have similar words here or similar domains are available and which were found or means already registered with this same name or a similar name. You can use this DNS twister to find out all the similar looking domains. I hope you're aware about an attack. It was IDN homographic attack.
Don't know, Siddharth, seriously. What is it?
What is IDN homographic attack?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Don't know.
So for that attack, the attackers register a domain with some kind of scripts like Relic scripts. Let's take example of Relic scripts. So here are some characters in Relic scripts. I hope it's visible to you. You can see
Yeah,
A here, B, I, K, M, H, O, P, C, T. These characters are looking similar to actual A, B, C, D,
mhm.
but the ASCII value for these characters are different. It means computer will treat this for the machines will treat these characters as a different character in our ABCD, but we can't identify these characters between the actual ABCD. If I give you an example for this part, let me open Google.
No. Actually, you mean to say this is encryption, cyber kind of thing.
No, that's different. Encryption is totally different thing.
See what this attack meaning of like using this language, what it does, code, malicious code.
We have multiple languages, like we have Greek language, we have Hindi language, we have English language, right? So
Yes.
Prolix script are just simple bunch of characters which
Okay.
looks similar to actual ABCD in our English.
Mm-hmm.
You can see here A, B, and characters like M, H, O, P, C, T.
Okay.
They look similar to actual ABCD in our English part. But
Okay.
our machine will treat them as a different character. If I give you an example, let me search something for it is for Anil Ambani. Right? For Anil Ambani, I got results like 51,000, 51 lakh 30,000. Right?
Mm.
If I replace this A I'm replacing the A for that Anil with K A from the Cyrillic script. And if I search, I got zero results. It means my machines will treat these characters as a different character, but they were hard to identify. What attackers do, attacker use these characters and register domains. Like if I use this A to register apple.com, right? This is similarly looking for apple.com. If I send you the link with this character, I don't think you can identify that the domain or the link I have sent you was actual or not.
Oh yeah, I got it. Actually, see, this is like we are it's ongoing issues. This all nowadays, email every emails are coming from the same domain name in their company. I found the issue today also. I found the issue from one of the oil company. They got an email from their own domain name. It's a phishing email.
It could be a phishing email,
Yeah,
but
it could be phishing, but it was their it's internal domain, same domain name, internal email. It's like somebody from the internal mail to them, but it is not actual
yes,
internal, I believe.
okay. We have different terms in email security, like we have SPF records. I hope you are aware about SPF records in email part. Who can send mails on your behalf? Specified with this record. Sender policy framework, we call it.
No, I don't know. What is ESPF about?
So the SPF records verify that you are authentic person to send mails on behalf of any domain like Microsoft.com or not. When you purchase some kind of suits, like if you are using G Suite, I'm not sure I can show you or not. Let
No,
me.
and what is demog? Demog. What is demog?
Using Phyllis scripts, attackers simply register similar looking domains. Like they can use any character from these Phyllis scripts.
So they can create a domain for a similar
They,
domain actually.
yeah, they can create phishing domains
Mhm.
and they can easily exploit victims by sending phishing mails. Because if you get a mail with this link, something like apple.com, right?
Okay.
And if I have replaced the actual A from the English with this Cyrillic script A,
Mhm.
I'm not sure you're going to verify this or not because it's looking similar to apple.com.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
Yeah, that's the point of using Cyrillic scripts.
Uh, can my security device can identify this? Correct.
Sorry,
My security profile device is like which device can prevent this? Any idea?
uh, in Kali Linux, we have a tool, we call it Maltego. It comes pre-installed in Kali Linux. You just have to register yourself for this tool. I'm going with the free version because I don't have the actual free for that tool. So I'm using the community edition part.
What is the use of this tool, Sita?
This tool is used to enumerate about the people, about the domains. For enumeration part, you can use this tool.
I'm sorry, I didn't get you. Come again?
You can use this tool for footprinting. You can
Okay. So,
enumerate about a person. You can enumerate about a domain. This tool.
but we tried harvesting recon and Sherlock and all, right, to gather to collect the information.
You can't rely on a single tool.
But you can using this tool, you can get everything from using it. You mean to say, correct?
Yeah, you can use this tool for something like anything. You can use this tool for peoples. You can use this tool for domains. You can use this tool for locations. You can use this tool for email addresses. You can use this tool for
Okay, all
anything,
together.
for all of things. You just have to register yourself here. For registering part, I'm using temp mails, the temporary mails. So first first name, ABC, DEF, email address, password, and password. Okay. Use this tool. Let's open a blank graph here, and we have entities on the left. Yeah, we have entities on the left for which you can enumerate, for which on which you can perform footprinting. You can search here for DNS. You can search here for people. Like you can search for persons. You can search for DNS. You can search for domain. You can search for MX records. It's up to you. For what part you want to perform footprinting. Let me go for domain because we have a target here, Microsoft.com. Let me change the domain from petrava.com to Microsoft.com and I press OK. So when you right click on the tool, you can see multiple options here. All transformation, DNS from domain, DNS owner detail, email addresses from domain, files and documents from domain, and different machines we have. It's up to you what kind of transformation, what kind of footprinting you want to perform on this domain, Microsoft.com. It's up to you. Right? If you want to perform all the transformations, if you want to perform, want to enumerate all these things about this domain, just choose a footprinting level from your left. Like L1 is the lower level, L2 medium, L3 higher, or double XL is the most powerful level of footprinting in this Multigo. Let's go for a medium one. It will give me detail about the name servers, about the MX records, about the subdomains, and everything. Hello.
Yes, Siddharth.
So you can try this tool, Multigo. Just you just have to register yourself, and you will get these results. Like if I show you, all these blue dots are the domains on these name servers. Like Microsoft has name server, this one, ns3-205.azure-dns.org. On this same domain, so on this same name server, we have multiple websites as well, like live.net, microsoftonline-p.com. You can enumerate these things on this tool,
Okay.
right? All these red dots are name server, orange dots are my DNS names, all these pure red dots are the location part, and the green one, it is the MX record for that Microsoft, right? So
Okay.
you can try this tool, and you can try other tools like you can try Harvester, you can try Sublister, you can try Derb, you can go on multiple websites like we have tried yesterday. don't remember the names here.
See, when you enter any domain, it will give you all the information like DNS
Yeah,
information.
you can enter any name here. You can enter Google, you can enter Apple, Microsoft, Facebook, whatever you like. It will give
But
you
do
detail
you,
about all. Yes,
do you think this all domains which they are showing is the right one? Because I don't think so. Because all they're having, proxy servers which act
that's
as
why
a.
I have shown you multiple tools. That's the main motive of showing multiple tools. You can verify things.
Then how do I verify this? How to verify this?
Just okay, for verifying Microsoft, just do one thing. Open the browser, go on websites like uh, whois.domaintools.com.
Okay.
You can verify here. Other than this, you can go a website like Website Insider.
See, I think this Maltigo getting information from these
From these
similar,
domains like domain
similar to this. Similar to this. It is all getting information from here only, I believe.
Altigo has its own database.
But it is similar to this, right? For example, who's lookup, I can get all the domain information, location, everything, correct?
Yes, you can get all this information from Whois records.
Yeah, this is similar to. So what I am trying to say, Microsoft will never give you exact the host name, the server details and all, I believe, because it's again a vulnerable, like, so they must be giving you proxy names actually.
You always get a proxy IP. You
Yeah,
never get a
proxy.
server IP.
Yeah, the name should be okay. The name should be fine, but IPs and all proxy, correct?
IPs are not actual servers IP. They're
Ah,
proxy IP.
correct, correct.
Because if you get a server IP, if you get an actual server IP,
Then
you
you
can directly attack on that server part.
that's true. Yeah, happened. Yeah.
Yeah. Always a server's actual IP was hidden.
So can
You
I
only get a
using Kali Linux the Multigo tool? Can I find out the real IP of the server? Is there any other option?
I'm not sure the actual paid version can identify the actual server's IP or not, but I don't think you will get the actual server IP because it's always hidden.
Yeah, in any possible way using this tool, using Kali Linux.
Actual server IP, I don't think you can get the actual server IP or not. I'm not sure about that part. You can get the actual IP or not.
Okay, okay. Can you run this
But
tool again? Can you show me? I just lost this part. Can you
okay,
open a new?
I'm opening a new graph.
Okay,
Right? So when you get a new graph, you get these things. This is a simple fresh window.
okay,
When you open up this tool Maltego, right? Just search here for domain. Just drag and drop this entity domain.
okay,
Right click or you can double click on this entity and write the domain name here,
okay.
Microsoft.com. Right? If you want to enumerate about a specific thing, you want to enumerate about MX records,
Mm-hmm.
just go for the MX record. You can enumerate about domain owners detail or DNS details. If you want to enumerate about everything, right? You want to perform higher level of footprinting on this domain Microsoft.com. Towards your right, towards your left, we have some options here. Footprinting levels, footprinting L1, L2, L3, and double XL. These are the levels of footprinting, simple low to the most powerful level of footprinting, which Multigo offers you. Right? I have tried the L2 option in this previous graph. You can go for this double XL if you want. This is the most time consuming part. It will take some time, but you can try this. I'm using the free version. If you are using a paid version,
Okay,
I'm sure you will get something more relevant to the target. You
okay,
will get more information about the target.
okay. Fine, got it.
Yeah.
कौन था लग रहा है?